have run 2 steeples already this season versus Quigley, who's in her debut steeple, but who's been running really well in the shorter flat distances. So it'll be exciting to see how that matches up over the last couple laps of this race.
And here we go. The Bynum Women's Steeplechase is off here at the Portland Track Festival. One of these women will notch their name into history here and take home a log round tonight. But who's it going to be? The fans think it'll be Colleen Quigley. Amy Cashin's the defending champ from last year. There's the prize purse on the screen as it sits currently. And the top 6 places are paid out here at the Portland Track Festival. The top 3 are shown on the screen. Steeple Squigs straight to the front.
Waste not, want not, Colleen. Go get it, girl.
We got the Wavelight World, let's see, the white pace is 9:35, which is 5:08 per 1,600 meters, which is tough to gauge on this steeple course, but 77-ish per lap, and 5:02 pace at 75s per, or 5:02 mile, 75 per lap for that 9:23 world standard, which will be our green pace light.
So as you said, 9:23 green lights for the world standard and 9:35 USA standard. White lights there. And Colleen Quigley out to the front, not wanting to navigate that pack over the barriers of the water jump, safely in the lead. And outside of her,
you got to think Colleen Quigley has about a 34-inch inseam. Watching her go over these hurdles is like watching someone do sprint drills on the track. I mean, she's so smooth stepping over them.
We've got Butterworth out in front of her right now, too, and then Amy Cashin in third.
This is I say this with all due respect, this is a different level of athlete than we've really seen tonight so far, with athletes who have been there and done that, and some of the best steeplechasers ever in the history of the U.S. I think Colleen's PB is 9:10.
9:10.
That she ran in Berlin 4 or 5 years ago, but I like to see her getting aggressive. I like to see her attacking these paces and attaching early on with commitment. That to me shows a belief in her fitness.
Yeah, I mean, she's coming off of doing triathlons, which is so aerobically taxing, and then matching that with some great shorter distance, some great mile performances and 1,500 performances. So, I think the big question mark is, it's her first steeple of the season, but she's got such experience with a steeple. You mentioned her personal best. That came from Berlin in 2018. So 5 years ago, she ran 9:10. And it'll be exciting to see how she does with such a different buildup than when she was with Bowerman in years past.
Quigley, a fierce competitor on the track, too. Fantastic across multiple distances. As the top in the United States in the steeplechase are, Emma Coburn is great over 1,500, and so is Colleen, having a low, I believe 403 best in that.
Yeah, I was going to say 402, 403. What's interesting in this, at least for the American athletes, right, is, Colleen can be chasing that world standard all she wants, but the reality is, on the day of the final at USA's, you basically have to be able to run under that was it 8:22 or 9:22, that time to qualify for our team. And so tonight's really a test of, where she is, getting one under her belt before she goes to USA's, getting a qualifying time, which she might even have from last summer, but pushing herself. And as you see, she is growing daylight between her and the rest of the competitors in the steeplechase. So she's obviously feeling good. And as I've been watching her negotiate the water pit, she's doing it very smoothly. I mean, she's powerful off that push, only ever landing 1 foot in the water. So she's doing great.
Yeah. And what we're seeing here tonight, too, is a testament to just how far she's come. Last year, coming into this race, she hadn't run a steeplechase. And she narrowly made it under that U.S. mark to make it into U.S. championships. But this year, coming in to take the win in this, or to attempt to take the win in this field, is a totally different level of fitness than she's been in over the last couple of years. And this is a really great thing to see. Because when you have this type of athlete, somebody like Colleen that is fierce on the track and has that kind of mindset that is just not afraid to go for competitors' throats in racing situations, it elevates the sport and makes it so much more exciting to watch.
I I doubt that call thought she was going to be the one out front with this very accomplished group of female steeplers that she's working against. But the wave lights, pace don't lie, and she sort of lost sight of the green lights, and the white lights are nipping at her heels. So it will be interesting to see how this race unfolds over the last few laps, whether some of these early moves pay off, or whether they come back and make the last couple of laps quite a challenge.
And now it looks like Amy Cashin is coming up and is going to give her some company. Cashin, the defending champ, the Australian Hoka athlete. She ran 9:27 here last year to take the victory over Courtney Frericks when she did that. And she's run 9:21. That's her best. But right now she's staring down Colleen Quigley's shoulder blades as they head through another lap here.
Yeah, Emma Gee in third looks very, very smooth. All of these runners are sort of they're sort of making ground and losing ground, making ground and losing ground. So very curious to see, for some of these athletes who have more than one steeplechase under their belt, how are they? They've been here before this year. They remember what this feels like. But Colleen keeps driving on the backstretch. I mean, her form looks fantastic. She still does, to me, look like she has a lot of running left. And I think she's feeling the company, that pressure being applied from behind by Amy Cashin.
Well, Amy, it's interesting because she has a lot of races that are on her kind of results for the season. A few DNFs, which tells me I think that she's been doing some pacing as well as some racing, some doubles. She was third at the Australian Championship, so she's going to be like more specifically sharp for the steeple. And we're seeing her now trying to close in, if she can, on Colleen. As we go into 2 laps to go, does Colleen break down, and can Cashin pick it up and close the gap on her?
And the white lights firmly on the left of Colleen. She's sitting on the tail end of them. Cashin is ever so slightly closing the gap on Quigley up front, but it's been Quigley from the early goings of this race.
Stradirmo just moved up into third with Gee right behind her.
Strandemo, the former Golden Gopher of Minnesota, Big Ten athlete.
Sky Yuma.
Is it Sky Yuma or Ski Yuma?
Sky.
Oh.
I mean, it's spelled like ski, but very confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Colleen looks like she's picking up her cadence a bit.
Yeah, there's still that gap there. It hasn't really changed. Colleen holding strong at the front of this race.
She's get back into the white wave lights, so with about 600 meters to go. Can she maintain good form coming out of this water jump with only one water jump left now?
And Cashin trying to close the gap with all her might here. As they come up, they've got 500 meters to go here as they come to the bell. That'll be it. 1 lap remaining, and it'll be what can Cashin do to get close to Colleen Quigley, who has led this thing from the beginning.
Again, I'm not going to claim to know anything about the steeplechase here, but all I've ever heard coaches say is attack the barrier, and the best steeplers that you see are ones who accelerate into and over that steeplechase barrier. What I'm seeing Colleen do, it's like her former self is saying, attack the barrier, accelerate in, and then there's like oh no, the barrier's right there moment where she seems to be slowing down ever so slightly as she, like the last few strides approaching the barrier. And I think that's something that she'll iron out as she gets into USA's. But this is a great season opener for Colleen as she powers down the backstretch, opening up that long stride and putting distance between herself and Amy Cashin.
Yeah, the gap looks to be growing at the moment here as Cashin tries to stay close, but Colleen Quigley looks too strong here. It might be Fast Braid Saturday tonight in the Electric Forest. We'll see.
She was in front of the wave lights going into the water jump. We'll see if she's able to maintain kind of equivalency with them as she comes off this turn.
And there she is, driving onto the home straight, going to the arms again, over this final barrier for Colleen Quigley here at the Portland Track Festival.
Get going, Call.
Lifting the knees, driving to the tape. She's trying to get under that 9:35 there. And she will do it, 9:32.40 for the best steeplechase we've seen Colleen Quigley run in years. as she heads into the USA Championships next month. But she gets the win tonight in the Electric Forest and will take home the trophy, the prize money, as we see the other competitors coming across. Amy Cashin, 938, Strandemo, 942, Kohut Jackson, 948.
Another Golden Gopher.
Golden Gophers everywhere here. And Quigley, her first Portland Track Festival victory. She'll notch her name into the Hall of Champions here. That includes Amy Cashin, Courtney Frericks, and other greats like Shalea Kipp, Bridget Franek, Aisha Pratt-Lear.
I don't know who that is.
The champion in 2013.